Okay, hello everybody. This is Jack Stewart. I'm the president and CEO of Monument Insurance Group. Thanks for jumping on to our most recent MIG training video. Hopefully you've had a chance to already go through a few, even if this is just your first one. Hopefully over the next 8-10 minutes or so, we'll give you some good insight, some good info on how you can go out there and immediately put some of these practices to use and start growing your books of businesses all that much faster. I know again, we continue to get tons and tons of emails and suggestions from our agents on different topics and things that they would like covered so that they can regularly go out there and review. And as you can probably decipher already from looking at your computer screen, this training call is going to be focused on the emergency contact list. Maybe one of the most important tools and bits of information that I learned that really changed my business drastically, increased my profitability, my persistency rates and levels went through the roof. Look, there are so many different ways to get referrals, but the only thing I ask agents is, are you actually getting them? Right? Look, I get lip service on a regular basis about how important referrals are, right? We've all heard the saying, right? Oh, the best lead in the business is a referral, right? And the agents say it wholeheartely, right? They kind of stick their chest out a little bit and stand a little taller, and they announce to the world that a lead is the best lead that or a referral is the best lead that there is. And look, I'm not going to argue that. I agree with you wholeheartedly, but what difference does it make if you haven't gotten a referral in months or years, right? So the old-fashioned way of just handing out business cards and saying, hey, if you know anybody that might want some insurance, please give them my information. Look, they're not going to go work for you. So we need to find a more creative way of getting in front of other people that we're not reaching through direct mailing, right? I mean, you're talking about such a small percentage of the population. If I were to ask you, do you think there's more potential in the less than 2% of the people that are responding to direct mail, or the other 98% that we're not even mailing to? Where is there more? Obviously, the greater potential lies in the masses. In the individuals that are responding to us via direct mail. If we can find a way to tap into their sphere of influence, but do it in a way that they're comfortable, I think that'll make all the difference. And when I was shown the emergency contact list about 5 years ago, it really did change everything for me. I, like maybe some of you out there, wasn't comfortable pressing clients for everybody they knew, right? I didn't want to take their black book or have them go through their cell phone to give me a list of people. And, you know, in the end, I just found that didn't work out well either. I didn't want to do a sneak attack on their sphere of influence on their friends and family. I wanted to legitimately get a list of referrals and, you know, try and help them the same way I did the individual that sent in the request. And that was when I was taught the emergency contact list. So that's what I want to cover today. Let's kind of fast forward. Let's assume you've already made the sale, right? You're at the kitchen table. You've helped John and Mary Smith. You filled out the applications. Everything is good to go. The last thing, or one of the last things I want you to do before you leave the home, is pull out the emergency contact list and word it this way. John, Mary, I don't know if you know this or not, but 1 out of about 5 people, clients, about 20% of all policies go unclaimed. Now, look, I know that might be hard to believe, right? Why would somebody pay for their insurance and then pass away and not claim it? Well, a lot of things are going to happen, John, over the next 10, 20, 30 years of you having this insurance policy. Look, you might move. I might move. We might change phone numbers. I hope we don't fall out of touch, but there's a chance that we could. You might lose your policy or misplace your policy. There are so many different things that can happen. And it's because of that reason that 20% of policies go unclaimed. So one of the things that I'm required to do to hopefully prevent that from happening is get a list of 5 people that you know and trust, preferably in the area, that we can reach out to in case, God forbid, something happens to you or Mary and we can't find each other. All right, so kind of time out there, right? So that's exactly what I say verbatim, right? I'm literally not looking at a script. I've said it so many times it kind of just rolls off, and it will for you too as you do it more and more and more. Now look, you're not going to get a list of 5 names and go out and turn it into 15 sales. But in the long run, if you can add 5, 6, 7 extra appointments a week, what are you talking about? An extra $10,000 a month income? Trust me, it's worth it, but you have to do it habitually. You got to do it in every single appointment. So here's what happens next. I hand them this sheet of paper, and it gives me a few minutes as they're looking up, names and numbers to put on the list. It gives me a few minutes to double check the application. Have you guys ever maybe gone through an appointment, thought you had all your I's dotted, your T's crossed, got back to your office and realized you forgot a signature? You forgot to get their driver's license. You forgot to ask them this health question. Well, it gives us another chance to do that. Take our time, go through the applications, and slow things down a little bit so that they can fill out the list completely. I do this at point of sale. But what do you have right here? All you have is a list of 5 names, right? To me, that's not a referral. Here's where the magic happens. Okay, John, Mary, thank you. I appreciate that. Looks like I got everything filled out correctly on the application. I'll make sure to keep this emergency contact list on file as well. I'm going to spend the next week or so doing everything I can to get your guys' policy approved, of course. But here's what I want you to do. Once that happens, I'm going to give you a phone call and give you guys the good news. At that point, I need you to call these 5 individuals and let them know to expect a phone call from me in the next few days, just confirming their information and letting them know that they're on this list and what exactly that means. Do you need to make a copy of these individuals, or do you have a copy machine? Do you want to make a copy of this list, or do you just want me to remind you of who you put on the list when I give you a call in a week or as soon as you get approved? I've had many clients make a copy of the sheet or just write them down, or they'll tell me they'll remember it, or I'll remind them. A few days later, John, Mary, hopefully they get approved, right? Again, just another reason why selling a non-med product is important. It gives you an opportunity to move on to referrals that much quicker. If you're waiting a month or two for a policy to be approved, you can't move on to the referrals, right? It's taking 2 months to give them a call back to give them the good news. So sticking to non-med just makes everything move and flow so much faster, so much smoother, while there's still a lot of emotion. So a few days later, John, Mary's policies get approved. You call up John. John, great news, your policy got approved. They're printing it off, they're mailing it off, they're shipping it to my office. As soon as I get it, I'm going to go through it, make sure everything looks good, and then I'm going to either drop it off to you or mail it to you if I'm not in the area anytime soon. Remember that list that you and Mary had filled out for me? I need you to call those 5 individuals over the next couple days. Can you do that for me and just let them know to expect a phone call from me soon? I don't want to call them up and they don't know who I am. They think I'm some kind of crazy guy. So can you do me that favor? All right, I'll give you guys a call in a few days as soon as I get the policy, and I'll see if everything went through okay, and then I'll reach out to these individuals as well. Thanks, John. So maybe I'll remind them of who's on the list. A few days later, I get the policy. Now I'm going to go through the list and call them. Here's what the amazing thing was that we found. When John calls the individual on the list, 2 out of 5 of them are just going to flat out start asking him buying type questions. How much was it? What made you do that? Can I get something like that? It's amazing what happens when John becomes a salesperson, right? John's a lot more has a lot more rapport with his friends than we do, obviously, right? There's a trust thing there. Relationship already there. Obviously, it's mutual, right? If something happens to John, he put, his buddy on the list to reach out to in case we, to make sure his wife gets the benefits and can keep a home. I mean, that's pretty important. So 2 out of 5 are going to flat out ask you when you call them, hey, can I get something like this? Obviously, the answer is yes. At that point, we're going to just gather some quick information from them, just like we would any other appointment. Height and weight, date of birth, smoker or non, any health issues, mortgage amount, how much they're thinking of getting covered. 2 out of 5. So think about that. If you went and closed 5 homes this week and got an emergency contact list in each of them, you're talking about 25 contacts over the next week or two that you can reach out to. What if, again, you only got 6, 7, 8 of those a week? That is a lot of appointments. That might be more appointments than you're already running. 2 out of 5 will ask you. 1 out of 5 you're going to have to work on. Hey, have you ever thought of getting something like this for your family like John and Mary did for theirs? Well, I'm not so sure. How much is it? Well, look, it's affordable. It's not prepackaged. It's designed to fit your budget. You spend as much or as little as you want. I am going to be in the area Wednesday night. Would 6 or 8 be better? It takes about 10 minutes. The other two, for whatever reason, aren't interested. That's fine. No problem, buddy. It's okay. If you're not interested, you know where to find me. Just call John. John will let me know. Or if this number came up on your cell phone, write it down or save it. Again, I just really wanted to call you and let you know that if anything happens to John or Mary and we can't get a hold of each other, they obviously trust you enough to put you on this list, and they said it was okay for me to reach out to you to make sure their family was okay. That's why I'm calling. So that's it. No pressure. I'm not trying to force anybody to do anything. Not that we could anyway. But you automatically open yourself up to getting referrals without having to ask for getting referrals. And it's nice when somebody else is doing the work, right? Is doing the selling. And John, in this case, would be doing the selling. He's the one saying, hey, I just met with this mortgage protection guy. I needed to put you down on an emergency contact list in case I kick the bucket and they can't get a hold of me or Mary. Well, obviously me, right? They couldn't get a hold of Mary. And his buddy is saying, now what is this? What did you do? Oh, it's this mortgage protection. If I die, it's going to pay off the loan. If I get sick, it'll make the mortgage payments. One of those things. And his friend's going to say, well, how much is that? That sounds expensive. Oh, it actually wasn't that bad. It was about $65. It was about $70. Really? Okay. Yeah, no problem. I'm here. He's going to give me a call? Okay, perfect. Well, over the next couple days, his buddy is going to think, why don't I have this? John has this. Why don't I have this? An emergency contact list is a huge tool, but you got to use it habitually. You got to use it in every home. If you still want to get referrals aside from this, do that. But if nothing else, do this, and then actually call the list. It's amazing to me how many agents out there get emergency contact lists, and then just, for whatever reason, don't call them. Again, the bigger potential is in their sphere of influence. Don't just chase leads. Don't wait for clients to call you, right? We have an opportunity here to see a lot of people every single week. We just gotta go to them sometimes, right? And this is an easy way to do that. So I hope that helps, guys. If you guys have any questions on the emergency contact list or how to get better use out of it, of course, let us know. Talk to your manager about it. The emergency contact list is inside of every MIG prep pack and training manual. So print them off. Make sure you have one with every single one of your appointments. I'm telling you, you go out there and you run your 8, 10, 12 appointments a week, you'll have a stack of them by the end of the month that will need to be resolved. And what an awesome feeling to know that you don't need to work or get or invest in leads for 2, 3, 4 weeks because you have so many referrals. I'm telling you, that can be your reality, but you got to go out there, crank up the activity, and get the most out of every single appointment, starting and ending with an emergency contact list. Hope that helps, guys. Best of luck out there. Let us know how it works for you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.